Welcome to another episode of Radioactive Curry. We have with us the comic lizard, the jaded geek, and the most entertaining man on Whatnot, the Fuzzler himself.
That's me because I'm blind.
All right, this week's movie is ANDHADHUN, 2018 crime comedy, starring Ayushmann Khurrana and Sriram Raghavan, Tabu, Radhika Apte, Manav Vij, Anil Dahwan. Wow, I got it. Yeah. All right. 100. This movie is 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 3.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd, whatever that is. Let's see, 92% of Google users like this movie. And let's see, Akash, a piano player pretending to be visually impaired, unwittingly becomes entangled in a number of problems as he witnesses the murder of a former film actor. Man, I don't know where to start with this movie. This movie has totally flipped me on my ear for my expectation of these Indian movies. Because maybe I'm going to do this in reverse and we'll take it back. This movie's a 10 for me. Maybe it's not The Empire Strikes Back or whatever, but it was enthralling. It was original. It was well written, well acted. I didn't see any scenes or anything that looked the rabbit maybe could have been his CGI could have been a hair better, pun intended. but like just solid, well written, well acted. Like every aspect of this movie was great. I couldn't think of when you think of foreign people and their motivations, it was just why didn't we hear about this? Like we heard about Slumdog Millionaire when it made its rounds, which I guess technically would be the first Indian movie that I saw, but this movie was better than Slumdog. This movie was better than any of the movies I think we've seen thus far. It had people with genuine motivations, having genuine conflicts, and the genuine results from when you do dastardly things happening to you. It was just solid for me all around. So, Liz.
Yes. So when I sat down and watched it, I wasn't in the mood to sit down and watch our pick this week yet. Not that I didn't want to see it. I just wasn't in the mood for it. So for me, the first first 20 minutes, I'm just like, what does this have to do with a rabbit and a dude in a cabbage patch? And like, what is happening? He's blind. He's like Stevie Wonder. And like, just what, like, I didn't know. I was not in the right mindset for like the first 20 minutes of this movie. And then I started getting into it. I was like, oh, okay. So it's kind of like, maybe it's like a thriller. And then the more I started watching it, it kind of reminded me of like Snatch, directed by Quentin Tarantino, with a little bit of Ruthless People thrown in. Like,
it's funny you say Snatch. I said Snatch the same
that feel to it. It's just like Snatch was just like, yeah. So with the whole like bad things happen to bad people with different, it just kind of it just goes from there. Like it's all the setups, and it reminds me of because I don't want to like ruin it because this is actually a really good movie. The more that I was thinking about it, it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot, but like it had that moment in Snatch.
Well, most of our audience has seen these movies, so they're not looking for us to not spoil them. So let's just talk about these movies.
Like I said, I equated in the movie Snatch the part where like where Tommy throws the milk out, and then it just goes crazy, out the window, and it goes crazy after that, and you see all the pieces coalesce into one, and then there's just that moment where all the pieces start to coalesce into one, and you're just like, oh, at the very end, that's where the rabbit comes into play. Because as soon as I saw that bus stop,
I had totally forgotten about the rabbit.
Distance, I was like, oh, here we go. Okay, it's come full circle. It was so good. And I mean, you could pick out when she pitches the lady off the balcony, you knew that was going to happen. So there's some obvious stuff that was going on in it, but this one's a good one. I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch it again, just because, like I said, the first part of this movie, I just wasn't feeling it. I'm just like, oh God, I don't want to watch it right now. I really don't want to do this. And so I'm sure I missed a little bit of setup.
To be honest, I didn't want to do it either. When I saw that I was going to have to read the subtitles and that it wasn't going to be dubbed, I started to watch it 3 days ago, and I just didn't feel like reading. And it got down to this morning, and it was just like, dude, I got work to do. I got to clock in and watch this movie. So, and then I want to say I got 15 minutes into it, and then my wife came from dropping the kids off at school, and she came and sat with me, and I explained to her, oh, yeah, there's a guy who's faking like he's blind, and he's trying to hook up with this girl. That's all that's happened so far. I didn't even remember the rabbit at that point, or then I had to go back and explain to her at the end when the rabbit thing happened. So, but, so good. So good. It's such dastardly people.
It was good. It was good.
All right, JD, let's hear we got a lot of time, so let's hear it.
Well, I do want to say that I did thoroughly enjoy this movie, but that's not how it started. It kind of had that feel for me like the Andor series when that started, how I absolutely loathed the first 2 episodes. The first 20 minutes, I'm like, what is this, a rom-com, except with a guy who's a total douche because he's pretending to be blind? And I'm just thinking, do I want to watch an Indian rom-com? And the fact that they were alternating back and forth between English and Hindi throughout the movie was a little bit disjointing, especially at the beginning. So I'm like, this I was, texting half the time and watching here and there, and then playing a game on my phone. And then when he goes up to the old school actor's apartment to meet with him about future opportunities or whatever, and he's sitting there and sees his body lying in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm gonna sit up and pay attention now. And then
he has to go to the bathroom, and then you're like, okay, he's just gonna be looking in the mirror.
Oh,
he's just gonna be looking in the mirror, going, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And it pans around, and you see the other. And you're just like, oh man.
And it's just you kind of sense that these bad things are coming, and then they come, and you're like, ah.
And he just sits down, and he just starts playing the piano.
And he's got to keep a straight face. They're always trying to figure out if he can actually see, and they're doing things throwing knives at him, and he maintains a total straight face the entire time. Oh man! And what Liz said about how there's a point in the movie Snatch where things just continue to escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate, and that's how this movie is from the minute he sees the body. The difficulties just compound and compound and compound. There's even that scene that reminded us of True Lies, when he goes into the police station to give his testimony, and then he's sitting there giving it, and then he stands up and he's like, no, I can see these people killed him, and then it goes back and he's just sitting there and he goes, yeah. I was like, boom! Oh man. It's a really good film. I was very surprised because of that turn. I was expecting one thing entirely, a rom-com. I'm like, oh, this is going to be some Bridesmaids bull crap or who knows, and then it turns into this sort of Guy Ritchie-esque sort of movie.
Dude, our fans, our subscribers have not steered us wrong in movie selection.
Nah, that last one was nah. Fuck, I don't care what you that damn shitty Lord of the Rings one.
Bahubali was dope.
Bless you. No, I didn't like that one. I did not like that one. Was fucking 20 thumbs down to me. I was like, this is fucking like I still have scars. That's how bad I did not want to watch this movie because I was so scarred from that last one. I was like, fuck it, I'm tapping out, not gonna do it. But then one of you guys sent the picture of them like tied up, and I went, oh, they have shoes on. I was like, they got shoes on, dude. I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah. So before you go into it, Fuzzy, just to kind of dovetail off of how Nate started things off, I can't go as high as a 10 on this one. And while I think it's pretty good, like in my order, I think RRR is still on top. That one hits me right here.
That's just because it was our first one.
Well,
it's
no,
first one,
no, it's not because it's the first one. It's because the two guys in it are badasses, like complete badasses. This guy's kind of like the main guy was Akash. He's kind of a jerk.
He's a scumbag with a heart of gold.
He's like deceptive. Well,
right?
he wants to do the right thing, but he doesn't really have a heart of gold because ultimately, spoiler alert.
He can Stevie Wonder his way into.
At the end of the movie, he fucking took her fucking corneas, man.
It was a Kaiser Soze moment, dude.
Dude.
That shit was awesome.
Dude, no, it was awesome. But what I'm saying is that he's not the pure of heart like the two guys from RRR are. So, I mean, yeah, Beam and Ram, perfect guys. This guy's kind of a douche, but you still sympathize with him because things go so badly out of control that you're just like, oh man, I hope he makes it. So
this one, it's all about the details in this movie.
Yeah.
This is the one with it's all about the little details, like when
the rabbit comes back, the little kid comes back.
It's funny you say that because it was literally when the movie started and he's playing the piano, right? And again, we figure he's blind, right? Because he's got the sunglasses on and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then the camera pans into this picture, and I started cracking up laughing. I went, what kind of fucking blind guy has pictures in his fucking house?
I said the exact same thing. I'm like,
well, maybe he's like Stevie Wonder's. Technically, Stevie Wonder isn't full blind. He's just legally blind. He can see colors and shades and stuff. And Josh was just really? And I was
as a writer, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you know what I mean? But then, like, again, it was that little detail where then all of a sudden it reveals and you go, sons of bitches, they were trying to tell us this the whole time.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
All the way to the very end with the cane. And he picks up, he gets this cane with the, and I was like, Rosebud. like, it was perfect. It was perfect.
All right, Fuzzy, take it away, man.
Holy shit, dude. That's all I have to say. Like, I'm really mad. I said when we started that I found out that this was made in 2018. Like, it took me this long to watch this movie. This is the, and you described it best, Snatch. That's what I kept saying. Like, this is the Indian Snatch movie. And this is a Fuzzy movie through and through. Because your hero doesn't have superpowers. He's not even fucking trained in anything. You know what I mean? He's a dick. He's just, like you said, he's this dude. And when it started, I went, okay, this is going to be one of those things where, like, he's got to tell the girl, and I was in, like, even the way they introduced how he got, she hit him with the bike and stuff like that. I was all in. And then, like, I kept remembering the picture of them tied up, and I went, oh, is this a setup? Like, I was just, like, I kept trying to figure out, like, I thought he was planning this, like, an Ocean's 11 type of thing. So that's where I'm going in my mind when I'm watching this, right? And I'm like, okay, so he's playing the piano, and then this rich guy's going to bring him up, and they're going to rob him. Like, because, again, like, every time the guy would drop him off, he would pretend to be blind, and then also you see the guy left, and then he would look around, like, okay, like, he wasn't, selling it the whole time. So I was, like, waiting for him to pull out a bag and, like, have all the gadgets in there and shit, to open it. And like you said, when he sat down to play the piano and that dead body's sitting there, I threw my fucking controller at the TV. I said, what the fuck is this? What is this? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then, but the part that killed me, I'm laughing. This is where I was like, this is Snatch and Pulp Fiction. It's how she's up to the piano, like, talking to him, you know what I mean? Like, bravo, like that. He's just, I'm not gonna stop, dude. I'm not gonna stop playing, like, I don't want to die. And then when they're putting him in the bag,
I know.
And she fucking cracks his finger and she fucking ring out. I was like, oh shit, this is, but even if like you go back and watch that scene, it's almost vaudevillian. Like the way they're like panning
because of the way he's playing his music too. The soundtrack to that part is perfect.
And that's what makes it funny. It's like the same thing like with Pulp Fiction or something. Like, you know, they shoot the guy's head off, there's brains all over the place, but the reaction of the two guys, you're just like, what the fuck are you? It's like, oh, you got mad. He's like, I didn't mean to do it. You hit a bump or something, and I didn't hit no goddamn bump, you know, and shit. Like that was what was going on. But he's just cool, just playing the piano like nothing. And I'm like, the part that like really I was like, okay, fuck it. Like I put everything aside and sat down. It was when the old lady got thrown. The reason why we knew that was coming, but what was so like awesome about that scene is the way they set it up. You knew it was coming. But the way the door opens and then you just see her go, and the glasses are hanging by her hair and shit like that. Like you're just like, and again, he has to act like nothing happened. He just walks in, you know what I mean, and does the whole touching thing, and I'm like, oh, this poor motherfucker's. I'm like, all right, now how's he gonna get out of this? Like I was all excited. Like I was like, oh my god. And again, it just kept. And the beauty of it is that in most movies like M. Night Fuckhole, he'll just pick, like I say all the time, picks a thing out of the hat. Everything that happened in this movie happened for a reason, and it wasn't like in your face for a reason. Like down to the lottery lady. You know what I mean? The fact that he saw her when he was pretending to be blind. You know what I mean? And he saw the tattoo on her arm. So when he literally was blind, he fucking could say, and she's like, oh my God, he has the third eye. Saved his fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dude, I was like, oh God damn it. You guys have never heard me say this before. I've never really ever said this about anything. I want to make the American version of this movie. Like, it's that fucking good. I was like, oh my God, dude, people need to see this movie. Like, they need to see, this is such a good story. It would look, we could put the money together. It would cost nothing. You know what I mean? We could do it all in someone's backyard and shit.
I know an old lady we can throw off a balcony.
Dude, I got a dummy we could just fucking throw it. Like, dude, it's freaking awesome, dude. Like, oh my God. And then the ending, the part that killed me the most, dude, like that just killed me. Because I went, oh, this guy, you know, he met the girl, and I was like, this is cool. Because, like, in most of these movies, I've noticed there's like a checklist, right? You know, there's got to be X amount of songs in it. There's got to be, you know, a guy and a girl fall in love and shit like that, right?
But the songs came up for a reason. Because he's a musician. It wasn't bullshit.
But the guy who was writing this went, okay, I'm gonna check these off in the beginning. Like in the first 20 minutes, you're getting all those things. You got him playing the piano, the montage of the guy and the girl falling in love, and then he says, "Here we go, guys. We're going for a ride." You know what I mean?
That was actually my thought, because when I thought it was a rom-com before the body showed up, that was the thing, is that there were quite a few songs already in that first act.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this movie is going to be nothing but freaking songs with these two people fucking each other in love. And I'm like, oh. And then the body shows up, and then the rest of it is just straight messed up. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
I was telling you.
Like, who was not despicable? Like, the girl driving the scooter was probably the closest thing to virtuous in the whole movie. Like,
the old actor guy was not despicable. He was a
That's
legit
true.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Like, how ruthless though was the wife? You know what I mean? Like, just when you thought, okay, did she? Because you weren't sure at first how the husband dies, right? You're not sure. You know he got a bullet to the head, but you don't know. Was it an accident? Did he trip? Did he kill himself? Like, for the most of the movie, you don't know how it actually happened until much later down the road, and then they explained that it was an accident. Like, you know, he left it, and that's when she was berating the cop because he left his gun out, and you're like, oh shit, okay. But like, she just does her evilness so fluid that she comes over after right before he gets blinded. And he sees her pour the stuff in, but he gives her the food offering, you know what I mean, from the service. And then when you realize what you put in that food, it's like he saw her pour the stuff in his drink, and he decided not to drink it. I knew it. And then she just acted like it was no big deal. Like, I know he's seeing. I know he can do this. So he's gonna see this, but he's not gonna. Like, she's just such a hooker,
Yeah,
man. Like,
her
it's
evil
so-
like escalates.
it just goes so much further, and then
She was a Bond villain that didn't need to have a big weapon.
Right.
Like, you know what I
Right?
mean? Like,
And then she's like, get out of the car. No. Oh, wow, she's going to show him mercy. No. She just wants to not have him in the car. She'd run him over in the street. Like,
and
Well,
just
and
the,
then, what about the doctors? Like, I didn't see that coming. You know
Dude.
what I mean? Like, that was just like an added little like side bonus that just made the story just that much fucked up.
that part was one of the best parts to me. I was just
I
like, I was like even the way at the end he saved, you know, she's like stabbing him and he fucking like, you saved me, I'm gonna let you go, I'm gonna give you some of the money, and it was because of that money we're gonna get $1 million. And I was like, what the fuck, where is this going? Like what like, and I kept like,
dude, it activated my conspiracy theorist, bro. I'm like fuck, I'm
you
not
know,
taking my kids to the hospital no more.
you know,
Shit.
you know when you touch your remote and it'll tell you like there's 30 minutes left, you know, 20,
Yeah.
like whatever. Like when that shit happened, I touch it, go, there's 10 minutes left. What the fuck's gonna happen next?
know, what's
dude? Like,
happening?
I was like, is he gonna get the money to get the eyes? Like what's happening? Then when he went back to open the trunk, I was like, oh, he's not coming back.
He's dead.
I
Yeah.
was like, he's not coming back, dude. And he drove off. And like when I saw him coming, I'm like, no. And again, that's how good this writing was. I just like Nate said, I forgot about the fucking rabbit. I forgot all about it until I saw the fucking head pop up, and did you notice that the rabbit was blind in one eye? And I was like, oh shit, like now it all makes sense and shit. And then when he shot it, and then the fucking thing went flying.
And like I said, as soon as I saw that little, because at the very beginning, the rabbit stops in front of that bus thing, and then you hear the sound of you hear all of it in the background, but then it goes to him playing the music, and you're just like, okay, well, maybe this is just, there's some symbolism here that I'm just not getting because it's a cultural thing. Like, where the fuck's the rabbit? You know, when I saw the bus stop, that little arched concrete thing, I was like, oh shit, here it comes. And I knew exactly what was going to happen after that. And it was just like, it was a beautiful thing.
I want to make this into an American version just so people can see it. And I wouldn't change a single fuck. I'd leave the singing. I'd even leave it all Indian. Like the whole thing. I would just be like, put it in English. That's it, dude. Just put it in English. Put it out, dude. It is a perfect movie. Like it's a legit movie. And I like it more than RR. I hate to say it, dude, but I mean I loved RRR because it's fun. Like that to me, that's a movie I would have seen in the movie theaters. RRR, like that's popcorn. Like like everything's happening. They're badasses. They're kicking ass. This movie is something I'm gonna watch at least 5 more times, and it's gonna be with new people. I'm just gonna be like, you guys gotta sit down and watch this movie, dude. Like trust me, you're gonna fucking love it, dude. Like it's that good. Like you're gonna pull people down and sit them down because it just there's nothing wrong with it. Like zero. Like I was looking for things to pick at. Like I told you about the picture in the fucking mirror. I was like, really, dude? Like, why the fuck, After they found that body, I was like, oh, I don't care what happens. I threw my pencil in the air and said, fuck it, dude. Let's go, dude. I buckle me into this seat. Let's go, dude. Like, how the fuck is this gonna happen? Like, and I'm laughing at myself, going like, that is the coolest fucking idea that the guy can literally see, but everyone thinks he's blind. So he's witnessing this thing. Because, I mean, how many times do people do that in movies? Like, there's a blind person and they're doing, like, hand signals and trying to, do things behind the blind person's back. And he's watching this whole thing, playing it cool, like nothing's happening. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Like, oh, shit. Like, this is, you guys are judging it.
When he
too.
threw the knife, he threw the knife right into his face, and he would have, like, not flinched.
Dude,
what was that?
So good.
Yeah.
This one's good.
Yeah. So, audience, if you
Even the cop.
Yeah.
He's in the elevator, and they shut the elevator off on him, and he tries to blast his way out, and you hear the bam, 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 oh! He like shot himself.
Yeah, we don't know if he's dead or not.
No, the best one was when the guy got shot in the neck and she takes him to the hospital. She's like, I got money, and she unzips the thing, and it's like, a couple bucks, and it's all paper in there. Like she's like, oh fuck, like all the money. Like again, like everyone got karma. It came back to everyone, dude. Like And I'll tell you why the piano player got away with it, and he's our hero of the thing. Because remember, I told you guys always got to save the cat. What did he have?
Hit a cat.
Hot damn, right there. That's why he's a good guy, and he can get
Ronnie.
away with that. Yeah.
Ronnie.
Well, he also had his chance to.
Well, he was gonna tell.
He had a chance to snatch the girl's eyes and get the $1 million.
He
And
did.
still right off into the stuff. Well,
Yeah,
he didn't get. Did he get the money?
He do. He.
No,
That's
he
why.
took her
No.
eyes.
He got eyes. I don't know if they're hers. Did the eyes explode?
Yeah,
in the
but
car?
hang on. But how did he pay to have her corneas put in
Yeah,
if he
but the
didn't get the
card-
money?
But the card exploded.
That's the story he told.
Right. He's a
Yeah.
liar.
He's exactly. See.
So the rabbit didn't hit the car?
We don't know what really happened. I think that's what it is. Is that we don't know what happened, but we know. Like, remember how the story was told normally, and then it went to the him sitting there telling her the story, and then it just cut to telling that part of the thing. Like, it was just another 10 minutes. So that part's made up. We don't know exactly what happened. Like, but we
Damn
know.
it! This is a usual suspect.
Right,
But I
because
told
Sons of
at the end of the movie, when he hits the can,
When he hits that can, you know that he's full of shit.
that he can see now. Like,
I knew that, and I knew he got eyes from somewhere, and I assumed it was her. But I'm just like, when now that we're talking about it, like, didn't the car blow up?
But that was
Because
his
at the beginning
story.
of the movie, you
He
hear
said it blew up, but did it?
Yeah, but
We
at the
don't know.
beginning of the movie, when it goes black before it shows him playing, you hear the
Right.
car
But
wreck.
here's the thing.
You hear the car crash.
Right.
That's true.
Here's the thing. When cars crash like that, how often do they explode like somebody put a bomb in it? Very rarely. Very rarely.
Unless you're watching movies.
Unless
So fuck, he turned her ass in.
or unless you're a liar.
He turned her ass into that chic and got it all.
Yeah.
It could have been a Pinto.
That guy, dude, that's what I mean. Like, the minute he fucking hit the can, I threw my remote again. I was like, God damn it, dude, this is fucking brilliant. I hate brilliant shit that I didn't think of. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, why the fuck didn't I think of that shit? Like, oh my God, dude, that is so good, dude. Like, what the fuck, man?
Come on, Kaiser Sose to us, that son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what I said. So you guys are so saying us. God damn it.
I'm like, how does Usual Suspects flow? And now that you said it, I was like, oh damn it.
It was literally that. Like, I was just like, this is great. Like, this is so good. Like, you can't, like, and again, you can't even, as much as we say it's like Snatch and like a Tarantino touch, like, there's even that doesn't really describe the way the movie, because it's got
That's
this
just
tone.
what we can compare it to as
Right.
wrestlers.
And I think like, if you audience members keep giving us movies like this, I promise you, dude, we will be begging you for more of them. Do not make me watch any more of those Lord of the Rings movies, okay?
No,
Please.
send them.
No,
Send
send
like
them to those guys. Don't send them to me, man, because Fuzzy's like that when that happens.
Well,
okay, dude?
I didn't put up any votes for this week because there's quite a few to go through, so I wanted to go through them a little bit and just try to put some variety. And I was looking for like a horror in that batch, and so there's a horror and there's a comedy that I've already seen already that are Indian. So the comedy is kind of like Shaun of the Dead, and then I figured you'd like it. It's Goa Gone, and then the horror was Tambad. So we'll talk offline a little bit about which one we want to go with. And then I didn't do a voting for the Christmas movie either. I had a pretty busy week, so we'll talk offline about that, the Late to the Party piece too, or we just do 2 Indian movies. But it is kind of Christmas, and we have been going into. I hate to give up on Christmas.
Oh no, I'm not. Send your pick for the Late to the Party. Yeah, dude, we need more of those. Let me tell you, dude. 'Cause we'll
Santa
talk about
Slay?
it then. But oh my God, dude, this has been
Save
a
it,
week of
save
just
it.
amazing
Save it.
films, dude. That's
Save
all
for
I'm
the
saying.
review.
All right, so I gave it a 10. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I got a 10 out of this one.
This is gonna get a 9.5. I can't give it a 10. So,
I'm gonna make up for his 9.5 and give it an 11, dude. Okay, because it's fucking amazing, dude. Like I'm
good.
I'm gonna
It's
add
good.
it to the collection. I seriously gonna find it on Blu-ray and put it on my fucking collection.
But it's not original Star Wars. It's not Lord of the Rings. It's not the MCU. The entire breadth of it. It's just not on that level. But as a single movie, it's really friggin' good. It's really good.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear one for one. None of us complained about anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, just please, if you have not watched it, watch it.
My complaint was until I realized what kind of a movie it was, and then I had no complaints.
Right, yeah. Like, again, I was doing the same. Like, I was like, why does this guy have this? You know, what is this? This doesn't make sense. And then I said, oh, fuck it, dude. Let's go for this. Dude, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great movie, guys. All right. Well, thanks a lot for tuning in to our episode of Radioactive Curry. If you get a chance, like, subscribe, and share. We're really digging these movies. We're really digging your culture. And I can speak for the whole team when I say we can't wait to see more rich movies like this one. Thanks so much.
Love, peace, and chicken grease, ladies and gents.